right, welcome to another episode of Behind the Rise.
There's always going to be the why nots, but you just got to say fuck that.
When you're in a meeting, write things down.
You know that song?
Cats in the Cradle.
Yes. Dude.
What a cost of move right there.
How hard you get back up and keep fighting. With
That's it.
That's all I listened to.
Went down it. I was like, this is great. And then,
My God.
Exactly.
Isn't awesome guy.
All right, welcome to another episode of Behind the Rise. We're going to do a little Q&A action today to talk about some relevant topics. We're not sure what Costa has in store here today for some questions, but we'll hope they're relevant and hope they're good. Let's go, Costa.
I think we got some solid questions. Start off number one. What is one of the biggest challenges you see both entrepreneurs and just general people in business like hold them back from reaching their full potential?
I think, analysis by paralysis is a big one, right? Like so many people you overread and overlearn, overwatch before starting, right? So a lot of people call that like the knowing doing gap. So basically once you know it, how fast are you going to implement it, right? So there's not going to be like this magic thing that you're going to keep learning and keep doing, and then one day it's going to be easy for you to do it. So speed of implementation and the knowing doing gap, like shrinking that down is number one for me.
I think there's another thing that goes to that is like the reasons why not. Like Luch always talks about, like there's always going to be reasons why not, but you have to like make it happen, because every single like thing, or there's always going to be 10 or 12 reasons to why not to do that thing, whether it's to start the business or procrastinate on something. Like there's always going to be the why nots, but you just got to say fuck that and do it.
Oh yeah, there's people out there that they only focus on the reasons why not.
Right.
That's my biggest pet peeve in life. Yeah. I don't want to hear why not, right? Like if you have like a city worker like come to your like house to do something, like the minute they find out like there's like a little bit of something in the way, they try to find reasons why not. They literally come out. Like if you have like a tech from Comcast, oh yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. There's like a piece of wood in the way. Like no. If they were able to build the pyramids 6,000 years ago, then you can figure out how to run this wire for Comcast.
The aliens built the pyramids, but yeah,
that's another episode.
I agree 100%. I mean, it's so relevant. Like even especially with like new business owners, like people who are on the fence about to start their businesses, and they've been a laborer and they're gonna do this and they want to start this business. They've been thinking about it for 5 years, and they just haven't done it, and they will never do it,
right?
Because it's just gonna keep going in their head is that fear of why not. I don't know if it's like school programming or what.
Well, fear is one thing. Fear is a big reason that people don't jump, but speed of implementation, it's like another, that could even be like within your own company, right? Like you have a meeting to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, all right, we're going to execute this plan. Within like a half an hour of that meeting ending, I'm like going around everyone. Like, is it done? Like, are we doing it? Right. Did it do it? Like, are we like, once it's on like my list or like our list to like get shit done, it's an obsession until it gets done, But a lot of people, let's wait till tomorrow. We'll start on Monday. We'll start next month, next quarter. Unless that's like the plan, like strategically doing it next quarter. Other than that, if it's something that everyone decided it's time to go, the minute that meeting is over, it's fucking go time on that thing.
Yeah, I think that separates the like A players from like the C and D players, or the people that like, again, the meeting happens and the next day it is implemented.
Not the next day, that day.
Whatever, like regardless, right? Like it's done fast. Like the speed of it is the thing. And then if it's not perfect, okay, because that's the other thing. People will, I don't want to do it until it's 100%. It's like, no, I think you may be better off putting it out and then fixing it as you go, rather than obsession over the tiny, minute details of the perfection of that product or process or whatever the fuck you're doing.
There's different reasons why people don't start right away too. I think a lot of it depends on the person. There's fear of making a mistake. Mm-hmm. There's self-limiting belief. Like, if I don't think I can get it done, like it's unbelievable when I see some people, like even some people that work for us or worked for us in the past, like they don't realize how capable they are. It's like, I look at them like, dude, that person could be the fucking man. They could be anything they want if they just start doing, But in their own minds, like they just think they're so small, like they need to stay in this box and they can't go outside of it because whatever they're afraid of, I have no idea, Where I think as entrepreneurs, you just don't have that fear. Mm-hmm. You just go.
Right, exactly.
It's like whatever the fuck happens, we'll fix it as we go. Like what do they say? Build the plane
as you're flying.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's entrepreneurship 101.
I think there was a quote by Elon Musk where he said something along the lines of like, I try to do what I need to do in a year in 3 months. Like he just, like that's how he have fire is up his ass. That even though like there may not be a deadline for it in his head, there's such a fire in his ass to get things done so fast that he's like, I'm gonna get as much as I need done in 3 months in his own head. Yeah, that I need done in the year.
Dude, honestly, I think another huge reason why people don't get things done is because people forget. Like when you're in a meeting, write things down. Like
that's a big one.
Like productivity hacks for yourself. Like I can't tell you, like I don't miss things because I write everything down. I burn through notebooks like crazy. 100. At the end of the day, I'll take stuff from my notebook. I'll put it into my calendar. Once it's in my calendar, it's done. It might not be done the minute it was in my calendar, but it's going to be done in the next couple of days at the most.
Right, because now every day you're looking at that thing and it's burning a hole in your brain.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, wow, I still haven't done that.
What's that hack you use with your calendar? So you create, this is like a nice one that you showed me. So you create a calendar event every day that's like your to-do list, right? And then every day he'll fill up that list, and then
like a task.
No, it's a calendar event.
Yeah, it's called Power List. It's like an Andy Frisella, but I put my Power List. It's an event, like an all-day event in my calendar, and it repeats every single day. It's my Power List, and then I'll open up that calendar event, and it's just my list of shit that needs to happen like as soon as fucking humanly possible. That's like the stuff I absolutely have to do, and then other things like I need to close a bank account, like. You know, little stupid items. I need to close the North Shore bank account. Like that thing's been repeating in my calendar for 2 weeks. I'll put that in my calendar as a separate all-day task, and it'll repeat every single day until it's done, and then I delete it. But I'll never forget to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm going to do it at some point. You know, it's just I got to just find the hole in the day. But I watch the minute I wake up, I'm looking at my calendar. Not an hour goes by where I don't look at my calendar to see what the next move is.
Right. And I always... Like one thing that I do too that's like in that same vein is like before I go to bed at night, I literally can't go to sleep unless I put it on paper on a list for what I need to do the next day. Yeah. I don't know about you, but like my brain literally resets overnight.
Yeah, that's why you can't remember that stuff. It's not written.
It's like a full reset. Like every day you're starting fresh. It's like your Nemo every morning. You just got
reborn.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have no clue what happened yesterday. Like you just woke up fresh. So if you write it down, brain dump first thing in the morning, you look at that list and then you start executing on it.
I was talking to Cecilia about like New Year resolution stuff, like what I'm trying to focus on for 2024. That's a big one for me. Like for me, for example, like I'll procrastinate little things. Like let's say I get an email at like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., something like that, and I see it in my head. I'm like, oh, I'll just respond to that in the morning. But it's like, why not just respond to that right now?
Right now. Well, I could tell you right now that's called procrastination, right?
Right.
And procrastination, in my opinion, leads to a lot of anxiety. Yes or no?
100%.
Yeah. So if you know always that you have like this piano of shit hanging over your head that you know you need to do, right? Like you know it's there subconsciously, but you're not doing it. That builds like anxiety and like anxiousness.
Depending how big it is, yeah.
But it's like that shit. But I can tell you, there's nothing.
No, little stuff adding up for sure. But there's
no better feeling than clearing out your to-do list, like crossing every one of those motherfuckers off, going through all your emails. They're all read for the day, like everything's done. Those are the nights that I actually sleep the best. Like I can go to bed.
100% helps for sure.
And I can tell you another thing. I posted this on my story the other day about being present at home with your kids, right? That's my number one problem as a human being. I mean, I got a lot of them, but that's probably number one, right? And it's like I'm home all day. I mean, at night, right? I'm home at night and I'm just staring at my phone, like responding to shit and like doing stuff. If I just had a list of stuff that I needed to get done like that day and executed on it, and I already made my list for tomorrow, the next day, I could then be home and put my phone away and like have like a clear mind that I know what I'm going to be doing. It's like I have to keep my phone on me and like keep doing stuff because
like real time
because I don't want to forget it, and I don't trust myself to do it the next morning, you know? So it's like that weighs on you, right? And at the same time, days and weeks and months and years start going by. Next thing you know, you look up and your son is like almost as tall as you.
He's 22.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you know what they're doing is they're learning that shit. You know that song,
Cats in the Cradle?
Yes. Dude.
Like, what a Costa move right there.
Right, yeah.
I knew it was coming.
Bringing value Costa right out of the corner. Right?
Harry Chaplin.
Yeah. What's the line go? Like
Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon.
Right. But
when you coming home, Dad? I don't know. And then like he talks about this Like the him with the son, like he's
yeah.
not
Then
doing
all of a
stuff.
sudden the son starts doing what you're doing, right?
The son's like, I don't have enough time, Dad. Now
Exactly. So I'm worried that as soon as like they get like to that like a little older, I'm gonna be trying to talk to them, and they're gonna be facing the phone like "fuck you, don't talk to me." You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna be like, they learned that from me. You know,
Right.
Instead of learning to be present and to be fully a dad or fully when you're there
Right.
in those times, even if it's an hour or two a day. If you have an hour or two a day with your family and kids in there, it's a present time.
Right.
That is better than getting home at 4 o'clock and
6
staying,
hours of that
6 hours of being on your phone, like, or in your office, whatever at home. I'd rather have
Yeah,
that
it's
1
quality.
or 2 hours of fucking quality.
That's a quality over quantity thing all
Yeah.
day long.
I don't know how that relates to like the lists and stuff. So that comes down to like, if you feel good about like what you got done that day and you already planned out tomorrow, you can go home with a friggin' clear mind and actually be a human being.
Mm-hmm. You want to know one last thing as far as like a productivity hack goes? So end of night. So put this in your calendar, repeating for like every day at 9 o'clock, right? I have mine in here for it's 9 to 9:30 p.m. So it's the last thing on my calendar every day. And it just says nightly wind down. And it just has like a template in here. So it's 3 things I did well today. So you don't have to write anything down, but you just read it and say like, what did I do good today? How well did I process my goals and the things that I do every day that will get me to my goal? What's one thing I could do better tomorrow? How was my energy today towards others? So just those 3 questions, just looking at it and like spinning your mind on like, how did I do today? You know, like anybody I ran into today, what was my like energy towards them? Was it high? Was it low? And without even doing anything, just like opening that part of your brain, like the next day, you just have a little more intent to do those things better. That helped me a ton. That was a big one for me. Right now I don't do it every single night, but when I do, it's awesome. It's a good one.
That's a good one. You want to move on from this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can shoot into question number 2. What is the best way you guys face adversity? Right now is like a tough time with the economy, of course, things going on. 2024 looks like who knows what's going to happen. How do you guys face adversity?
Listen, as an entrepreneur, in order to be a successful entrepreneur is all about your ability to take punches in the face and keep going, right? And especially in times like this, right? We have, how many companies? Five companies, right? Like full-blown fledged companies, right? Every single one of them right now is dealing with some sort of adversity. Doesn't matter what. So I can guarantee you, anybody who's listening right now, whatever business you're in, even if you don't work for yourself, if you work at a job, everywhere, everybody right now is facing adversity. That is a fact, right? And the successful entrepreneurs, the ones who are going to make it through this, and for now and for always, this isn't just like a rule for while Biden's in office and making everything difficult. This is a rule forever, right? Is your ability to get punched in the face and to continue, because every single day, stuff is going to happen. But it's all about how you look at that problem, how you go to solve that problem, and how you bounce back and move on from that problem, right? There was that quote in Rocky.
I was just thinking that.
Balboa.
How
Cue the
hard you
Balboa
can
scene.
get it.
It's literally exactly
What is it? Cost. What's
It's
the
not
quote?
how hard you get it, it's how quick you get back up.
How hard you
essentially.
get back up and keep
Quick you
fighting with
get
his
back
That's it.
Keep
That's
going.
it.
Life's
Keep
gonna
going.
it's like life's gonna beat you down.
That's the name of the game, man. Shit happens in everybody's life. Okay.
Right.
It's just it's the ones who can look at that thing and find like a positive angle on it or a different angle on it, that it doesn't continue to weigh you down.
Right.
Like the perspective thing too. Like if you can figure out to just control the controllables, and there's shit that's gonna happen that you can't control, and you just the perspective of it is like you're gonna get through it. This will pass. We're gonna get through the other side of it. Then, like the perspective of the adversity is a huge part. Like how are you?
There's a lesson in everything, dude. There really is. Like
Mm-hmm.
anything bad that happens, like we just will say, what was the lesson there? Like openly, what was the lesson there?
Exactly.
What did we learn from that? Like that sucked. What the hell did we learn from that?
Exactly.
Because that can't happen again.
Yeah, the stress of things is a huge deal, and it does apply to business, but even for life. Like if you look at the people who are living the longest right now, it's because everyone has adversity, right? Like everyone has major issues, trauma, parents dying, siblings, all this shit, right? But the people who are living the longest and happiest is the people who have the best perspective on adversity.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowing the stress of the adversity to take over their body, like physically. Like it's stress can physically kill somebody.
Oh,
For sure, man.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, these last like 3 months, I mean, that's one of the reasons we haven't been filming as many podcasts is because we've just been so busy like dealing with things happening everywhere. But this is not just us. This is every business, every industry. Doesn't matter who you talk to.
Yeah.
There's other people. They mask it. They don't talk about those things openly all the time. But I could guarantee you, everybody you know is dealing with some level of adversity right now, more than they have been over the last few years.
Right. Doesn't matter how good it looks on Instagram. With
Yeah,
all
I
the
don't
bullshit.
give a
That's-
fuck who you are. You're
That's the
dealing
shit
with
that
it.
I keep trying to post about is like, dude, everyone keeps posting the good shit and fucking this and that, but behind you fucking take those curtains down. There's some crazy shit
Right,
going on.
but a lot of those people, entrepreneurs that are only posting positive stuff, it's because they're trying to project positivity even for themselves.
Right,
So they're
right.
not just trying to dwell in the negative. Like we do. Like we need to make
No,
sure
I just-
everyone knows that we're getting fucked on.
No,
this,
no,
you
but
know?
it's not just that. I just don't want, because there's people who compare themselves to those people, right?
I know.
There's the young entrepreneurs who's looking at those people and they're like, I'm dealing with all this shit while this guy is fucking crushing life. But in
But
reality,
the reality is this guy is dealing with a lot of shit
Exactly.
the way I am, and they have a positive outlook, and they're getting through things, and they're
Right.
moving forward, right?
I just wish that some of those people said that. You know, like, listen, I'm not perfect. I'm going through this too, but
People see
this
through
is
that.
my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You don't have to
I
say
just-
it anymore. You know, people can see
Well,
right through it.
it is. I mean, it's like deceiving sometimes. You see
Yeah.
like everyone like rolling around and they're
Exactly.
hanging out every day. I mean,
And then, because a comparative game is, it doesn't matter where you are in the ladder.
Yeah.
Whether you're the fucking 9-figure to 8-7, doesn't matter. You're always going to look up to that next top above you, and you're always going to compare. It's a human thing.
It's true.
yeah,
and
and
it's
right
just-
now, the way I'm trying to compare myself now to people that I look up to is how they're dealing with shit.
Exactly. But that's because
Not
you know,
what they have. It's how
Right.
they're like. I know like that person's dealing with stuff, and look at how positive they are.
And
look
that-
at what a free mind of free will they have. Like they're dealing with it.
and that is inspirational. That is like, wow, I can get through it too. Like
Right.
it gives you that, fuck yeah, I can get through it
Exactly.
too. But the people who don't, and you're just comparing, you're like, why is this fucking guy crushing and I suck? And
Right.
it gives that gap.
Yeah, and you know what the answer to that question though is like, why is that person doing it and why do I suck? Is that person is doing extreme action to
Right.
fix whatever issues. they
Right,
have.
Yeah.
right.
To fix all this adversity that everybody's dealing with right now can be fixed by one way and one way only. It's
Action.
not like saying like out loud fix this. It's not. Those things all go to it, but without action, none of it will happen. You need to take extreme ownership of it. Whatever's happening, take the bull by the friggin' horns and fix whatever's happening. Right.
Right.
The minute you start having action to progress and start fixing a problem, you start feeling better, and then positive energy starts going, and then it starts to snowball to actually fix that problem. And then you can move on. And then guess what? You wake up, you think you solved one problem, you wake up the next day, another thing smacks you right in the face. But now you're prepared for it because you've dealt with that one, right? And then now it's a new problem. So it's not just, okay, this is happening, that's happening, that's happening. And then you look up and there's 10 problems all at once and you feel overwhelmed and you start
Yeah.
to sink. And
There's
then
a-
it's negative. A negative snowball can happen so fast.
And the other
Yeah.
thing is something that I personally, when you see the bottom, like if you had an adversity that like was a real one, like something that was like, whoa, fuck, like that really, whether it's a personal thing or business, and you get through it, there's nothing that could scare you moving forward. Because you think to yourself, if I got through that, and you want to know what that reminds me of? Remember earlier this year that big one we dealt with? Like the big one, where it was like overnight we had to switch.
yeah.
That to me was like, okay, if we can get through that, we
I
can
enjoy
literally-
that shit now. As sick as it is.
But we
Like,
can get through anything, and it gives you that perspective of like, I've seen nothing was worse than what I got through, so this is gonna be a fucking breeze.
Yeah.
Once you keep taking in the chins, like that punch doesn't even hurt anymore.
No, like let's go.
Yeah.
Saddle
Yeah.
up.
You want to know what helped me? I was talking to my friend Jesse, who's been like, I've been talking to him. He's in inner circle. And I was going through, like, I was in a moment, like a couple months ago, like overwhelmed. I'm like, this is happening, that's happening. Had an issue with my friggin' dog. Like all this stuff is like, I'm like, am I fucking cursed? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
You know? And he said to me, he said, man, have you ever tried like praying every morning?
I thought I said that to you.
No. Well, you may have, but I didn't listen. But coming from another person, right? That like him and I, we're in this group together, like we're trying to help each other. That's the beauty again about surrounding yourself with people who want the same thing as you, who are on your level or higher. Is that you guys can all help each other, right? So I talked to Jesse, and he was like, "Hey, man, it's all." But I pointed out each thing, and he showed me a perspective to look at each problem that I was complaining about. And then he was like, have you ever tried like praying every morning? He's like, whether you're religious or not, like whatever if you believe in God, if you believe in this, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in that light, like whatever you believe in, pray to that thing every morning. Thank them for all the good that you have, and ask them to help you, like the wisdom to see through it, and have them help you have the clarity to like deal with these things, like calm, and without emotion, and like handling these things properly. Since I started doing that, and pretty much every day since I've been doing that. Since you guys have noticed a change since I started,
big time.
I feel like I can get through anything right now, and I'm just fucking barreling through every single problem, taking the bull by the horns and fucking crushing everything.
Right. But the key to that, what you just said, the most important thing is not just asking, like, please help me with this, please help me with that. It's thank you. Look at the shit that I do have. Thank you for my healthy family. Thank you for the home I live in. Thank you for the ability and the strength to deal with all the problems that I have every day.
Yeah.
That puts you in a state of gratitude, right?
Correct. Thank you for my wife, my children, my family. Like the
even if you don't believe it too, because when we started doing this together, it's you fake it till you make. You just say those things out loud until eventually you start to like, ooh, I think. Yeah,
and one of the problems that we have, or I know for sure I have,
I can't lie.
I can't lie. Okay,
I can't lie.
If I've ever told you something, it's the truth. I physically cannot lie. Like Liar Liar, where he cannot tell a lie. I can't even tell a lie to myself. Never mind other people. So I can't tell to myself, okay, all right, I weigh 210 pounds. No, I fucking don't. Okay,
dude, I'm the same way.
I get a problem with that. Like I can't lie to myself. So this way is a better way to do it for me, because I am thankful for my children being healthy. I am thankful for my wife and my health of my parents, my brothers, my family. Like I am thankful for all those things. And that does put you in the state of gratitude. So I start there. That's how I start my prayer situation. Then from there, I ask. You don't just start by asking, right? You got to thank first. Give the man a little. I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Then you start asking for, help me have the clarity to move forward and deal with all this bullshit that's happening.
I know some people. People think it's hard to like. What are you like really thankful for? What are you grateful for? Sometimes it's like really hard to. But if you really sit and like think about it,
dude,
you'll find it.
Are you thankful for your dog?
No, so that was what I was gonna get to. So I have like my mind's like I'm thankful for Romeo. I'm thankful for my new girlfriend. I'm thankful for my family. I truly believe that to my core. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't feel fake when you say something.
That's exactly my point. Like those things I actually am grateful for. So it's not like telling myself a lie.
Oh, dude, when I'm like super anxious and I'm sitting there in my head like I feel great today. I feel great today. And then there's that's over here. Then the right side of my face is like. You feel like shit. Go lay down and go to sleep. And it's so annoying. Yeah. I just want to show you my receipt from October 27th, Angel Perrina. When's the last time you prayed?
Yeah. When was that?
October 27th.
I think it was around the same time. Yeah.
I said, when's the last time you prayed? Then you told me. Then I said, pray tonight. Really give it a go. I will. I followed up with you the next morning, and you said, hey, I prayed last night. It actually really helped.
Yeah. So no.
So don't give Jesse. No. I just want to show my receipt.
Keeps receipts.
Yeah, he does. That's one thing about me. I'll keep a receipt.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, Tino's been pushing that narrative for a while, but of course, I don't. Never really listened. But coming from a peer, right, that helped and helped reinforce the issue. I started it, and I feel I've been feeling like I can deal with anything that comes. Period. End of story.
Do you know what's kind of weird too? Last week. For some reason, I literally started praying too.
Really?
Yeah. Did we talk about this?
No, that's what I was. As soon as you started saying it, I literally was on YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time, and for some reason, like some Christian gospel music came up, and it looked like kind of cool.
That's all I listened.
Went down, and I was like, "This is great." And then,
my God,
exactly.
Is an awesome
I was more
God from heaven above, heavy.
But literally, I saw the video, and just like YouTube kept recommending me stuff, and then all of a sudden, there was like somebody talking about prayer. And I was like.
You look like you have like an edge on. You look a little lighter lately. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think I started doing it every night.
You know what made him
lighter?
You know what made him lighter?
People need to stop praying when they get too close to us.
No, the success of the Black Friday.
Oh, that'll make you light.
Yeah, that'll make you light.
Well,
conversions will make you light.
Most conversions this week.
But actually,
honestly, like you're ingrained in all the shit that we're doing right now, right? So you're like feeling like the amount of like stress and pressure and all that stuff that we put on each other and everything, right? So you're like all of a sudden like you need a source. You need to start fucking praying.
I put it on him too. I tell him straight up. I'm like, listen, this is what happened. He's like, whoa, all right.
Yeah, so like you're seeing it now for in real life. This isn't. It's not fake. It's it's real.
And so to the point of praying. Just last thing, praying is good for business owners, but everything business, right? But praying is also good because sometimes when you're really in shit and it feels like you're doing everything you can to control the controllables and it still doesn't hit, it's surrendering to a process and something that is not real and tangible, but it's there.
Faith.
Yeah, it's called faith.
No, I know
Yeah.
it's faith. So when you look to when you say I've been trying so hard, and then you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna have faith
that this is gonna get worked out.
That this will pass and this will work out to something greater than you. You feel a little bit lighter if you truly believe in that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
I don't
one.
think you even know, like when I like started, like for people that like maybe like want to start doing it, since we're talking about it, like I don't even know if there's like a specific way to do it, but literally I was just like praying out loud. I was like, I have no idea like what I'm supposed to do if I'm gonna do this, if I'm even doing this right. But I'm just like,
Just let it rip.
So you
what's
feel
it feels
lighter
good to
after.
say it
so
all
much
loud
better. Every
Yeah,
night,
you
just
just
get
get
it's
out.
a
I do it in the morning.
It's a mix between talk therapy that is like tried and true for years. Like if you have a therapist, you understand that. And then it's the faith aspect. Because when you talk to a therapist, you're communicating back and forth. But you're communicating with something in hopes of, in the faith aspect of it. That's the second part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually excited. Tomorrow I'm going to my first mega church at 11 a.m. in Boston. I've been searching so hard
Like
to
a
find
Brazilian church?
No. Like a Texas style, 300 people screaming, music from
In
the second-
Massachusetts?
Yes, it's one of the biggest. Music from like the second you walk in and everyone leaves like slapping hands and high fiving.
What
about
time?
Worship. 11 a.m. in Boston. And I've been searching for this for so long. I finally found it, and I'm going tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Nice. Let me know how it is. Maybe there could be a little routine on Sunday.
Worship. They all are texting me saying like, "Are you ready to worship tomorrow?"
What do you mean? Like the people in like the congregation?
No, my friends who go there.
Oh.
They're like, "Are you ready to worship tomorrow?" Like, I'm like, "I'm ready."
You
I
better
got my
fucking show up.
worship
I'm bringing my
pants on.
worship
Yeah,
pants.
it's game day, baby.
I'm going to
Yeah.
worship motherfucking hard tomorrow.
I'm excited.
It's game day.
What else we
it's
got?
game
All
day.
right, Costa, let's keep it rolling.
all right, number 3. This is a hot topic with everything going on right now, especially leading off that. But what is the best way and strategies that you can do to improve customer retention?
So this is a hot topic for us right now. I think everyone in general, right? With what's happening right now, it's getting more difficult to acquire new customers.
More expensive.
More expensive, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on traditional marketing, advertising. People have, let's say you have $1 in your hand. You're a consumer. You have $1. The consumer has to decide where to spend that dollar. That dollar is being cut up into a bunch of different places, right? So you want to get a piece of that dollar from the consumer. Once you have that consumer in, the number one name of the game in what's happening right now is how do you retain that customer? Because it's more and more difficult to acquire new customers, you need to take care of the people that you have. You need to go above and beyond. We said this in the last episode or a couple episodes ago, but providing extra value. But it's customer service, crazy good customer service, incredibly good products. Really focus on retaining the customer by any means necessary. Now, that doesn't mean give up on your acquisition. No. That means that everybody that you have, that you do acquire, is sacred. And you got to hold on to them, and you got to do anything you can to keep them in the family with your company.
And you got to get creative this year. And this is more towards digital spends, because what Angel's referring to is new acquisition on a digital spend, Facebook, Google, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. It's going to get higher because the want spending is getting less because people are afraid in the need
Consumer spending.
And people are more interested in the need spends. Like, I need to spend money on this, but the want spending is going to go less.
I see.
So that is going to affect 2024. So now you have to get creative. It can't just be like your standard customer service. Oh yeah, we're responding quickly. No, you have to go above and beyond. Are you gifting that person a product? Are you finding out that client has a dog and it's birthday's coming up and you're going to send the dog a gift or something? Like, it has to get really next level to stand out, especially in today's market. Like, I think we really got to get creative.
Yeah, that goes with like creating like that brand loyalty, right? Because there's so many companies out there. There's so much competition in every single industry, right? There's nothing that's like this new thing that you're the only one doing it. Everyone has a ton of competition. But why do they stay loyal to you? And that goes with a retention, right? So you need to try to find a way to create loyalty. Now, you're telling me if you send flowers to somebody's house that their dog just died and they're a customer of yours, that they're going to shop you out after that?
No.
You think that they're going to go find another place that has a coupon and they're going to go there? No, they're going to come to you, right? So what did that thing of flowers cost you? $25 to retain a customer for life? Those are the things right now that we got to be doing.
And that, the reason I even brought that up was that happened to Lucho. Was it Farmer's Dog or Bark Box?
I think it was Farmer's Dog. I
One
think
of
they
those-
do that automatically.
Yeah, they do that auto.
When your
But
dog
doesn't-
dies.
But
Right.
it doesn't matter. That is a touch point that I'll always remember that they did that for you.
Yeah.
And it didn't even happen to me.
Right.
The fact that it's automated or not doesn't matter. They sent a card in flowers to your dog because they know you're in mourning and they know they're in the dog industry. So they know how much you care about this dog. So they took the
Yeah.
time to send you flowers in a card about that you're mourning.
Right.
I'll never forget that they did that for you, and it wasn't even for me.
If you have a large company right now that you're serving customers all over the place and you don't have like a really intimate relationship with that customer, it's more difficult to do those things.
Because
right?
they're not loyal. You have to create loyalty.
So, I think Gary Vee said this like a bunch of years ago. I remember it's like you need to build a company like the Jetsons, like in the future, right? But you got to treat them like the Flintstones. Like you got to take an old school approach to make them feel like family. Like you're just not just a number on a like customer number 3072. You want them to feel like they're the only customer, that they're part of the family. Now that's very difficult to do when you have customers all over the country and all like that. But you need to find a way to create that loyalty with your customer base. We do things like we send people a specialized gift package on their birthday. We do handwritten notes. We do an occasional, just like give them a discount, throw in a gift card, shit like that, to help people, that we appreciate their business, right? We know that you have options. You can go anywhere else and get this product, right? We think our product is better, like on a quality standpoint. So we're always working on our quality, our delivery, our packaging, all et cetera, and this relates to any type of business, right? But everybody has a choice. They can go somewhere else at any time. Why are they going to stay with you? And doing those things, is super important. Like at the restaurant, for example, like there's regulars, right? And they go to you because they feel like they're at home. They can go to any restaurant anywhere. But one of the things that we preach to our servers is like, yes, you got to follow like a steps of service. You got to follow protocol, but we want your personality to show. We want you to get to know the customer. We want you to make them feel like they're walking into your living room. Now, can you replicate that same feeling and experience in an online business or a service-based business? Like if you're an electrician, a plumber, HVAC company, I think you can.
Absolutely.
I think you can get to know the homeowner. I think you can, if you're there and you find little cues that they're working on something, or they have a lot of Patriots memorabilia up. Maybe you get them a pair of tickets, or you get their kid a jersey or something like that.
That's the key.
That shit goes a long way. And right now, that is the name of the game, customer retention.
Especially if you're not the cheapest product in the market. Because,
Right.
again, the cheapest, there's going to be cheap people. You're going to lose them because they're just chasing the cheapest. But if you're like a mid to premium product or service or company, whatever, you have to do that because people are aware. They're not dumb. They're aware that they're paying a little bit more for your product. So now it's up to you to decide, what are you going to do for that person to make that person not look any further?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of cases, like a bunch of examples I can think of. I'm not going to name them all right now, but like if somebody came to me and said like, oh, hey, I have this service. No, I'm all set. I'm loyal to the people that I deal with.
Right. Why do you even need to entertain it?
Right. Like I'm not even entertaining. I could get it at less money probably, but no, I'm loyal to that person.
2024 Nutri, I think that's going to be a big goal, is we do a decent job, right? Like, again, this is always like trying to want to do better. If you're a business owner, just thinking that, like Lucho, again, does a really good job at this, like looking at it and just, there's just so much room for more improvement. Like, don't just think, okay, that department's okay for now. It's like, no, that's okay, but there's so much more room to go.
Mm-hmm.
So our customer service is good. Like, I think, Lincoln's a fucking rock star in what he's doing, but I think that there is room to get more individualized per customer, especially when we're talking about diet and food, and because it's intimate. If someone's trying to lose weight and, hey, what are you dealing with? Like really getting granular with some of the emotions or certain aspects of our clients, and then get that next level. I think that's our 2024.
So the question is, how do you find out what those opportunities are to do that, right? And one way to find that out is talk to the people who are actually dealing with the customers, right?
Yep.
If you have a HVAC company, talk to your techs that are on the field. Like, what are some opportunities that we can do for our customers that are going the extra mile? Ask them. They'll tell you. They know, right? Like when you go into their house, you're taking your shoes off, you're blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it is, but there's an opportunity in every single industry and every single type of business to do this. So talk to your people that are on the ground, customer facing, and they will tell you. You got to tell them what to look for, but they will give you the clues.
You know, it's like super. I noticed something too is we try like a bunch of different like softwares for like SMS, for example. We were doing a bunch of different trials, and the one that we stuck with now is just amazing because one, the onboarding experience was amazing. It was just super clear, and two, the customer success person at the company Attentive that we have literally gave me his phone number. I text him, he's back within like 2 minutes, being like, "Hey, we do this. Hey, I actually created the form for you. Hey, I actually created this journey. Hey, I did this." They're
So
it's
huge.
Like, anything was just like that, and it's like, how can we go somewhere else if he's just that
So
this good?
so that's a good one, right? So like so many people have been focused for so many years on automation, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like automation, it's using all the tech that's available right now, like using call centers in India and all this stuff, right? People want to talk to a person, right? I think that what's happening is because there's so much of that going one way, if you could take a step back and have people dealing with it and have excellent customer service like that, but you're actually talking to a person who knows what they're doing and cares about what you're doing, that's the difference, man. I'm telling you, that is going to be a big
Do you
difference.
want to know where that stands out more than anything ever? So in Boston, there is a ton of restaurants, right? Thousands. The main people or the people that are like regulars are going to the same like 10 restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because they have a point of contact that they could just text for reservation. They could text for like, "Hey, can I sit outside tonight? Hey, bro, it's my anniversary. Can you make like that individualized maitre d' style relationship, whether it's with an owner, manager, waiter, bartender, whatever, that is so huge. That literally, I've spent thousands at certain restaurants just because I could text Joey at Brico. I could text.
A great example of that was who we had on the show was Nick Verano. He built his entire business with that principle in mind, that he takes care of people and everybody feels like home in his restaurant. That's literally, he built his entire foundation, his name, his everything on that.
Yeah, I could text Dave and he will give me, even if it's a 30-minute notice, he will find a way to get me in because he understands that, you know, I'm a good
Now, in a
friend.
restaurant, that's one thing, but how do you do that and scale in other types of businesses? Now, you got to get creative. You got to look at it and see how you can do it. I can't give you the answer. Like, if we sat down and talked about each place, we could probably come up with an answer. But at a restaurant, it's a little bit easier because you're dealing with the customer face-to-face and you can really do that. But how do you do that at scale in whatever business it is? That is going to be the name of the game. So acquisition, number one, and then retention and brand loyalty, number two.
Yeah.
You know? That's it?
That's all we got.
Shit, we fired through that quick.
Got about 37 minutes into it.
Wow.
That's a quickie. That was a value.
Wow. Did we get value?
I think that was value packed.
That was a value-packed episode, right?
That was a bomb.
All right, so here's the deal, guys. So if you got value out of this episode, if you thought that you learned something, that a friend or that somebody else could benefit from hearing this episode, send it to them, share it. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow the show, and we're promising that we're going to do more episodes like this. We've just been so busy dealing with our shit, but we need to make this a priority. We want to make this a priority. We love doing this. We love talking these types of things. So this is our passion. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate the support. Share this, send it to a friend, and let's go get them.